Okay, so now we're ready to move to the next thing, but we will review a couple things, and I'm going to add a few more bits of information. So, in the other videos, I was talking about creating let me just do this really quick to get this out of the way of that, so you can see over here when I use this, it won't pop up behind that. So, just making a new window here for this video capture session. So, alright, so before, if I grab one of these custom orientations, or the default ones that are here by default, let's say local, if I grab that one and I'm going to turn on the rotation manipulator there. So if I do that, now I'm in local, and so I have the Z axis pointed this way now, so I can move it with the manipulator, or if I go G, Z, Z, I'm moving it there, right? Okay, so it's important to make a note of the fact that when you're in global setting, you can also do the same thing. It will default to local, or in this case normal, which would be the same thing. In this case it would be. So, but it basically defaults to local. Alright, so if I'm in global and I go G, Z, Z one time, then it's going up and down, and if I go G, Z, Z two times, I'm now moving it along the local, even though it's set to global. So just know that by default it will choose local as the orientation to start using if you hit that key the second time. Got it? So like if it's even X, if you're going move on the X, it will also do that, right, on the local X. Alright, so now when you create a new, let's just create a new one for the cube here. Let me just rotate it kind of randomly here. Alright, we'll just create a new rotation there like that. Alright, so, and now we'll go down here and go to, gotta open that, and go down here to transform orientations. We'll create a new one, and now that will be called, over here, that will be called cube, right? So that's the one we're dealing with. So if you notice, it happens to be that that is the same as, in this case, that's the same as local. But to illustrate this, let's rotate it around again. Let's rotate it over here in this other direction. Or in fact, let's clear it out. Yeah, let's just clear it. No, let's leave it like that. That's actually probably pretty good. Alright, so notice how I have it set to local, and I go grab on the Z, and well, it changes so slightly, it's hard to see from that angle. Let's try this way. Z, 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 there you go. You can see it changing, right, to the local, because I have it set to local, even though by default it would do that. So if I have it set to global, right, it's going to go grab Z, Z, right, on the local. But remember, we just created this other one, so if I have it set to cube, which is a whole different one, right, and I go grab X, X, now it's going to move along that one. You see, the one that we have selected here, it won't take local, it'll just jump up to the one that you have set. If nothing is set, basically, if you're in global, it will take local as the one to go to. So let's just say if we're going to grab on the ZZ again, we're doing that, right? Okay, so just to make that super clear. One more thing that you want to be aware of before we move on is that you can change these keyboard shortcuts at any time as you're going along. And this will come as we start getting into numeric inputs as well. So let me illustrate that real fast. So let's just say I decided I wanted to grab it on the Y, alright, and then I changed my mind and realized I hit the wrong key, or for whatever reason I was confused. Now I can go to X, and it can be moving on the X, or I can go to Z. So you can just kind of do that all day long. You can just keep hitting these different inputs, right? And the same would be the case of if I wanted to go grab on the ZZ, and then I decided to go on the YY, right, or the XX, and so on. So that's how that would work, just so you're aware that that's always live until you're done.